I did persist, and I don't really know why, because I could have easily quit.
You did some pretty cool stuff though.
Radio plays, sold out gigs. We worked with insane producers. We managed to access people from around the world, and it was like everything I ever wanted to do.
Do you feel like you pushed to keep it going?
And it just got like 1 million views, hundreds of thousands of likes. I had got like 100,000 followers in a year. People out in public would like come up to me. They'd be like that from a distance in like Nando's, like taking pictures.
Why did you stop the growth? Like you just felt like it was not you anymore?
I was bothered that I was becoming what everybody thought I was going to be. When in reality, probably no one gave a I just handed in my notice.
You never looked back?
I went back to that job.
You did go, you went back?
I did go back to that job. I'd got all this money saved and was like, I'll be fine. And then we got to the November and I'd gone through all my savings.
Did you feel like you were taking a step back?
I felt like I was starting again. And then you messaged me around that time and were like, let's write a song. And then did play it.
I join in and there's like 80 people in the live. I'm like, what is going on here?
With that amount of people in, you don't know what you're going to be met with. You could have 50 of them saying, get the off you. But like every time I think I can't be arsed doing a live tonight, I just think in my head like, you don't want it bad enough then. There's someone your age doing it, he's getting further than you. Yeah, I think the only way you're going to see growth in anything you do is consistency.
What has been your biggest learning curve?
Is it recording?
It's more rolling.
Sweet. How's the hoodie positioned?
It's positioned.
I don't like how this is so flat. I love a plumpy hood, mate.
You like a plump hood?
Yeah. So I like the Wolfstups hoodies that everyone says I never take off, but I've actually just got 3 of them.
Yeah, I've got
3 of the same one. And
I think I've got about 4 or 5. I've given some away, to be fair. Eventually you forget that the cameras are actually rolling.
Yeah,
but
I'll warm up to it.
I wanted to ask, to start off, what do you tell people that you do for a living when they ask you what you do?
Why have you asked that question? Just out of curiosity.
I'm just curious because
that is something I struggle with. You know?
I do sometimes.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like I do a few different things. Obviously, there's one thing I do more than others, but
I do struggle with that, and I sometimes even just say it outright. Like I struggle to tell people because I do a lot. I think I would now say I'm a content creator.
Yeah.
Which is like you'd associate a content creator with like a TikToker, but no. I actually I make content for people.
Yeah, and yourself.
And for myself.
Yeah.
So the whole business is like when I edit videos for people, it's content. When I make music for people, it's content. Musician and content creator. Yeah, I'm a creative artist.
Because if I'm describing you to somebody, I say you're a music producer.
I will say first and foremost, I will just say, musician, music producer, but then they're like branches off that. Yeah, because
you do other creative things, such as video
editing, the podcast studio.
Yeah.
Yes. It depends who I'm talking to. If I want to impress someone, I'll say I'm a business owner. I own 2 businesses.
Yeah.
So it's just like true.
The 2 businesses being
Wakefield Podcast Studios and High Sounds. It's I do a lot of things within music. I'm a top liner, so I'll sing on other people's tracks, whether that's for they've got a song sitting around and they can't sing themselves, they'll want a singer on, or they've got a song that they want to pitch to an artist but they need someone to sing it to showcase how it should go. I produce for other people, I write for other people, I write for myself. I play gigs on the weekend, play in a band. I do this podcast studio. I edit for Wolfstups. Yeah. So it's like that's like 9-10 different things there.
It is actually crazy when you list them all out like
but
that.
It's
like
fun.
How many different things
you
like actually do.
We're probably going into like 10-11 things, but it's fun because sometimes I think maybe I should niche down on just one thing, but then every day is just like fun because
it's something different.
It's something different,
and they're all things that are in the realm of which you enjoy.
And I meet some incredible people doing it as well. Like I were asking somebody yesterday, Ben from downstairs, what podcasts he listens to, and one of the podcasts he listens to is Uncanny on BBC.
Right.
And I went, we've shot their podcast, and he went, bro, you are like a celebrity to me. But like even that's like just not in a braggy way, but like that's not to have done that for BBC is quite normal now.
Yeah, it feels
and the people
more
we've
normalised.
met, like who are of status,
Yeah.
Has become a bit of a normal as well. But actually, like, none of those things would have been possible, and I can say that I've done, if I didn't keep these little things going. And like the musicians I've met, the
spinning a few
people I've
different
written for, the people I've sang for, the podcast clients we meet, it is just like, I mean, we often say to each other, we're very fortunate to be able to do what we do every day, because
100%.
like, you've got the thing of every day is different. A lot of people can't just come here and sit here and talk to the mate for an hour. But this again is a part of the job. Like, it's just, I'll never take it for granted.
I want to get into that at some point in this conversation, but also I feel like it's worth touching on sort of, I mean, this is how me and you actually got to know each other, isn't it? Like, through mutual connections. And I think probably the first time I met you was when I came to the studio with Tom.
Yeah.
Because you were at Bank Street at the time with Harry. Sluggy. Done an episode with Sluggy if you want to check it out. And me and Tom had started Wakefield Podcast Studios out of the shop. And it was going well, and you guys were looking at moving into a studio, and because Harry was editing the Wolf Sups videos at the time, Harry said to Tom, do you boys fancy coming in and moving the podcast studio there? So we went and looked at it, and then we didn't go in on the rent, but we came up with like some sort of businessy agreement.
You didn't do it at first.
Yeah, at first it seemed like a bit of a big leap.
So I was still working at a golf club, pretty much, well, it was part-time, but I was pretty much full-time, because COVID had happened. So we had to have like 2 or 3 people on at the bar, so it was basically a full-time thing. And then we went to look at the studio, but I can't remember how. I think we needed somebody else, or we'd have liked to have somebody else to help with the rent. And you guys didn't do it at first, so I think
you got someone else in.
Yeah, our mate Connor.
Yeah,
I think we did like the first 4 months, just us, me and Harry and Connor, and then Connor left because his job started to elevate elsewhere, and then you boys finally came in January, didn't you, of like 23?
Yeah, which was convenient timing for me because I was planning on obviously going travelling, and at the time it wouldn't have been feasible for me and Tom to keep the podcast studio at the shop, because it would have just meant Tom running that as well as running everything else supplement related. So it was a massive benefit to me getting you guys on board and doing it that way, because it gave me a bit more freedom to go and do my thing whilst trying to do bits and bobs where I could when I was away. But I remember having the discussion about that before I went away, where me, you, Tom and Harry were in the studio and we were talking about how to make that work. And that was quite an interesting moment, I feel like, for me in my life, because it felt like, as much as it was on just a really kind of small scale at the time, it felt like a big moment in terms of like a business sort of negotiation, because we were negotiating like percentages and how it were going to work.
And with strangers, well, Harry probably wasn't, but I didn't know you guys at all.
Yeah, I mean,
really.
Even me and Harry, like, even though Harry went to my school, like, I didn't really know him at all. From that, I
didn't know you two really at all, which is mad when you think about it.
I know, and that's only 3 years ago.
It
is 3 years ago. This
I
year.
got to know you really because you'd come in on an evening, you and Wolfie, and start painting the walls. We were doing out the studio, so the conversation. I remember the early conversations we used to have was when we were painting the room together. And I'd just sit in, and I remember asking you about your job, and like, you were like, it was weird because we were starting this business and this venture together. We were kitting out this room, going in, splitting money, splitting costs, and we were getting to know each other still.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So like around that time, like you were saying, you were still at the golf club working and doing the music thing on the side.
So I was working at the golf club I started in 2017, so I was there like 6 years. And then Harry came to me and he was like, he could no longer be making music in his bedroom anymore. He'd reached a point where he needed somewhere else to do it, but he couldn't do it on his own. And I'd got into that routine, that lifestyle of working my week. It were okay pay. I was at home with my mum and dad. I was saving money. And I was like, I hadn't done music for so long. I was just like, if this is me now, that's all right. And I'd fallen into that. And looking back, I can't believe I did, really. Because it's not that there's anything wrong with a job, but that's kind of a bit of a nightmare of mine now. Like, I don't want to do that.
You don't want to go back.
Yeah. So it convinced me to start it whilst I was still working at the golf club. And then, January, when you boys came, I was still at the golf club. But I was trying to do everything I could to make money on the side. So I was on Fiverr, doing music on Fiverr. Harry gave up Wolf's Ups. Yeah. And then Wolfie offered me the role of editing the Wolf's Ups videos, which I will always say, I don't know if I probably say it, or I have said it to him a few times, but like, that did kind of like give me a huge, it was a huge help at that time for Wolfie to, and for him to, I mean, there has been times in business like there is where times are uncertain. That's just how it is when you own your own business and you're doing what we do financially. And Wolfie's never Wolfie's always been like, bro, if you ever need videos to edit, I've got you. And I will always like thank him for that and for that initial opportunity when I was like trying my hardest to get out of that golf club.
I feel like we both are, Tom.
It's cliche, but he has been nothing but good to me. I mean, and you probably likewise over the years, and I think that's what you need.
That's what a real friend is. I think, like, just someone who, I mean, even though like that sort of orients around financial situation, financial troubles, let's say. Regardless of that, like having someone who will just put their neck on the line a little bit for you and just say like, I've got you if you need if you need a bit of a
and I like to think that I will do that for people as well. Like I always make sure if anybody's ever going, not even financially, but like if anyone's going through anything, like I will be that person, because I think it's just crucial, like within your group.
You started working at the golf club when you were like 17, and fast forward to taking on the studio and doing that sort of thing.
I got sidetracked.
No, it's just how it goes when you do this. So you were how old when we did the studio? Like 23?
I was 23. Yeah. I just turned 23 when I moved in.
Because you're a school year older than me. Yeah. When's your birthday?
29th of July.
Yeah. So there's not much. There's only a couple of months in it for us, really. In terms of age difference.
I'm just a school year above you.
Yeah. But I want to take it back a little bit earlier than that, because I want this episode to sort of, like I said to you before, to orient around kind of creativity and taking the plunge, like you have. You have been creating and had some sort of creative outlet from a very, very young age. I'm right in saying. Yeah. So you've been playing guitar since you were how old? Like,
7.
Since you were 7.
7 years old, yeah.
Where was your first, like, what's your first memory of you kind of doing something like that? Whether it be playing guitar or writing songs or any sort of creative kind of outlet?
My earliest is when I was younger. I was obsessed with Elvis Presley through my mum.
Right.
She used to have all the VHSs. Like of his live performances and stuff.
How young are we talking here?
Maybe it was year 2, and I remember year 2.
Yeah, so you
I don't know how old you are. You're like 6, 5.
Yeah, 6? I want to say you're probably about 6.
6.
6 or 7, yeah.
Because then I got bought an Elvis style jumpsuit for my birthday or Christmas, and then I went
a full piece, like.
Yeah, like it was like the white with all the sequins.
Oh yeah.
And it was show and tell, and we had to it were like, looking back, show and tell were definitely for kids that were doing out of school curriculum activities.
Yeah.
Curricular.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there'd be girls that that did horse riding, and she might have won one of them little shitty ribbon things that they win.
Oh yeah.
They'd always bring in them, wouldn't they? And they'd bring
that's...
in like some lads might bring in a football trophy, and I went to the cloakroom, put on this Elvis jumpsuit with all the sequins on, and I thought this would be sick to show the class for show and tell. And then
this.
Yeah, and
was this for a birthday or like Christmas or what?
I got it for Christmas on my birthday.
Right, okay.
And I wanted to show the class it for show and tell.
Yeah.
So I went in with this Elvis jumpsuit on, and everyone were like, "The fuck is this sort of thing?" I can't really remember the reaction I got, but from that day on, every Friday it'd be Charlie puts his jumpsuit on and sings Elvis Presley for us, and I did that. I don't know how long for, but like I'd sing an Elvis song in front of the class in my jumpsuit. I remember that because she one day got sick of it, so she's probably always had it out for me.
Mad.
And she got up and said, "Can Charlie not do one this week? So I want to do one." And she did an Elvis Presley song. I was fuming, and I was like 6 or 7.
Mate.
Yeah. So it's weird how it's like.
Full circle.
Yeah, so maybe she didn't like me since the Elvis Presley days.
So that was your sort of your stepping into the limelight moment.
Yeah.
Had you ever done anything like that at home, or like
just singing in front of television?
Yeah.
Probably singing from like my parents, my grandparents.
Mm.
Yeah. So I think I've always been a bit of like a performer in that sense. I've always liked the attention. I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Where do you think that comes from? Like, I
don't know, because usually that comes from a place of being neglected.
Yeah,
but I was never neglected.
No, and also you're the oldest sibling.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, so maybe my mum and dad will always say we got given the same each.
Yeah.
But like I obviously experienced that getting fussed over because I was the first.
Mm.
And like I always got celebrated for whatever I did. So it was like
you were encouraged.
Yeah, definitely
doing your performances.
Yeah.
Let's say.
And like I obviously saw I wanted to be Elvis Presley, and then the older I got, it were like seeing Justin Bieber step into the limelight and seeing the videos of him with thousands of fans, and I was like, how do I do that?
It's funny you say that, because I think it was yesterday a video came up on my feed of Bieber when he was like 15, 16, getting out of a car. There's like thousands of screaming girls there. He's like running to a stage, all these girls are chasing him, and then he jumps on the stage and he has this like Michael Jackson type moment where he like takes his jacket off, puts another jacket on.
Seeing it. He's got the thing in that.
And the guys in like the red suits are behind him, and he does this like mad dance performance singing Baby, and there's just screaming fans and girls.
I was like, that's what
you wanted.
I don't know why.
I feel like deep down, maybe not necessarily everyone wants that. Some people are quite happy keeping themselves to themselves, but it is understandable to see why people might want to seek that out, just naturally.
I think it's because no one else did it either. Like nobody else in my class really did that, so it was like I was the guy.
It became a part of who you were.
I guess so. Yeah, very quickly. And like 6, I don't even remember back then. But then after that, it was just like, Charlie's this kid that sings.
It's funny, innit, going back and you sort of join the dots a little bit with things like that to where you get to. I mean, like, I might have told this on a podcast before, but for me, my sort of Elvis Presley suit moment was similar to like show and tell, but I would write stories.
Yeah.
So I started writing this complete fictional like story about some cartoon characters, and like, I used to do flip books and comics and all that sort of stuff when I was younger, and I would write a new entry, a new chapter to the story, and I'd read that out in show and tell. Like that would be I
remember doing that as well.
Maybe that ties into somewhat like the storytelling element of how I've ended up wanting to and pursuing the podcast
yeah,
type
yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
It's funny when you go.
It's like you
not
subconsciously, but it's like you write your path in it.
Yeah.
But you don't know you're doing it.
No, it just sort of happens, and then that becomes who you are.
Yeah.
And that will never cease to interest me, of like how that actually, you know, where that driving force actually comes from. It's weird, but like you say, I think probably deep down it does come from your influence as a child, with obviously the social element, family, getting praise from doing stuff like, I mean, there's other things I can think of in my life as well with similar to that, but after this sort of period, you know, like early primary school, let's say, how did the music stuff take a bit more precedent in your life? Like, what were you doing?
I got guitar lessons at 7. Shortly after the whole Elvis thing, 'cause my mum and dad were obviously like, well, he's musical.
Encourage that.
Yeah, and I wasn't bright. I remember I was put in like underachiever classes and stuff. I was falling behind
academically.
Yeah, academically, and I think they wanted a plan B for me.
Yeah,
because I remember the one time they even had like a teacher coming in to assess whether I'd got like ADHD or something like that, and she'd like follow me around and sit in all my lessons and
sort of analysing if you had any learning
I think
difficulties.
One of the teachers suggested Asperger's or something to my mum, which is like wild now, but it wasn't. It was just I didn't like it. Like I wanted to. I went to school to go and mess about with my friends and stuff. So 7 guitar, didn't really click onto that really. My dad got a letter one day from my guitar teacher saying like he's
not
he's distracting everybody, like he's a bit like,
was it like a group guitar
lesson?
Lesson?
We're a group guitar lesson, like you're wasting my time and you're wasting
your money.
Not there, but you know what I mean. So my dad, I remember him giving me a firm talking to, and I'd let him down after doing these lessons, and then something clicked. I went back to the lessons, and it was because you were learning like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and all that, and I wanted to be doing like like Back in Black and stuff like that. And so once I got my head down, and then I got the praise off the teacher, and I was like, oh shit, like he's like praising me because I'm actually listening to him. And then ended up guitar lessons, improved with that. I think the dangling carrot was, I will buy you an electric guitar if you get a good report back, because the electric guitar was the key way into being able to do what I want to do on the guitar. So I got a good report back, all
from
A's.
The guitar teacher.
From the guitar teacher, who's like, he's made an incredible turnaround. So I got the electric guitar, and then I started posting videos on YouTube in like 2010.
Mad.
My dad was
2010.
2010, yeah. And my dad wanted me to record a country song, and it was Billy Currington's "People Are Crazy" is what it's called.
Right.
And I was learning that song.
Have you still got the videos?
It's on YouTube somewhere.
Have you privatised them?
It's privatised on an account. I need to find it. But yeah, I'd started like singing and trying to strum it, and I entered like a summer concert at school, and all the kids were playing like the acoustic Twinkle Twinkle, all that, and I was like, I want to do something different. So I was like, I went to my teacher. I was like, can I sing and play the guitar? I didn't really know how to. Played guitar every night in the kitchen with my dad. He'd be like, stop there. That was wrong. Do that. Start again. It was like, you know the scene from Karate Kid when it's like, he's like,
wax on, wax off.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's just over and over.
And I hated the song so much. We'd been doing it for weeks, and then he was like, right, if you can do it really, really well, I'll film you and put you on YouTube. And YouTube wasn't that accessible back then. It was like a ball ache to upload a video.
I know.
And we filmed it and put it on YouTube. And I remember like how it was back then is like it took like all night to upload a video,
even if it were a couple minutes
but I was
long.
So I put it on YouTube, and then like all the kids in my class would watch it then and stuff like that, and it got like a few thousand views or whatever. But that was like my entry into YouTube.
Mate, I was a similar age.
Yeah.
When I first uploaded, and it was a music thing. I might have showed you it before. Me and two of my friends. One of them was a bit of a pianist. Well, he knew some chords and that, and then the other one had got a drum kit.
Yeah.
And I got my electric guitar when I was probably like 8 or 9.
Yeah, yeah.
Similar age,
Yeah.
and I used to get private lessons, and similar to you, I just for some reason I never really like practiced. Like, I enjoyed it.
Practice, yeah.
I enjoyed it, and I liked the idea. Like, when you asked me, if you'd have asked me when I was a kid what I wanted to be, I'd either have said a footballer or a rock star.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I just never stuck at it. So, but my first YouTube video was me and two of my friends in my friend's bedroom, just playing like a blues song.
Yeah, yeah.
Around that time.
Yeah.
Like similar age, like
on like
10,
an iPod
10,
Touch.
11. I think we might have filmed it on a laptop camera.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mad.
So you did your concert and stuff, and then by this point you're probably getting close to like high school age.
Yeah, high school, and then I think I got picked on a little bit for that one video that had been on YouTube, and I remember my mum.
When people found mine, it was a bit of a laugh, like oh, look at him, like laugh at him.
Yeah, but because again it were different.
Yeah,
and nobody else were doing it.
That made me shy away big time from that, because I could have gone into like the artsy type thing when I was at high school, you know, with like the guitar, and like even in primary school I'd do like the school. I know everyone did school plays, but there were only some people who'd get like the talking roles and that sort of stuff, and I was always like, I'd always get like a talking role or something like that, or a main part. But then when I got to high school and I felt that judgment, I shied away from it. I didn't like it. It made me feel really self-conscious, but obviously you persisted.
I did persist, and I don't really know why. I got into my first fight over that video.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. Because there were these kids, and they were just constantly like...
They just bring it up all the time.
Yeah, I think they were like mocking what I said in the video.
Were they your age?
Yeah, they were my age, and I think I would just like, I straight up said, let's fight. And we fought about it, and
did you win?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure. I don't think I did, you know.
That's fine though, man. You stood up for yourself.
I did stand up for myself, but then I kept going, and then kept putting the videos out. It became easier because we got iPods, and
so you were still uploading
iPhones,
to YouTube.
Yeah, I was still uploading them to YouTube, and then I played some school concerts in the assemblies and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think I was just it became normal then. Like, Charlie's the guy that plays his guitar and sings. Like, nobody really gave a shit after that.
Because it was a bit more normalised.
Yeah, because I've been doing it since primary school.
Yeah.
And then into high school. And it was just a normal thing.
Why?
The one thing I did hate, is the walking into school with a guitar on my back. It felt really uncool. Like, I hated that.
I used to bring mine in for music.
Yeah.
Like music lessons at school. And I used to feel a bit like that, like lugging my guitar. I used to take my amp with me as well, and I'd just be like,
because it wasn't cool either.
No, it wasn't very cool.
To do that wasn't a cool thing.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
Do you think it? I mean, as an adult, right? You look at that, and if you think you imagine a kid taking the guitar into school and putting themselves out there like that, it is cool. Like, it should be a cool thing.
Yeah.
But why does it not feel it when you're in the moment? Do you think?
I don't know. I felt really nerdy for it.
Like, it does make you stick out.
I think because the cool kids all played football and rugby.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. It's strange, but kids are so strange. Like, on what's cool and what's not. Like,
I think it's jealousy, maybe, like a little bit of envy. Kind of, you're getting the attention you're doing.
I don't really know, because I think you probably did have some kids that did bully or pick on it for a bit of jealousy, but I also just think it was a little bit of like, me personally, I was never bullied. So yeah, I don't know. But what I was gonna say is, I think it's a bit of a sheep thing. Like they're so like, we need to be around this group of people. So I would never. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a question that's very hard to answer.
It's a cliche question, this, and I feel like I ask it every podcast. But if you could go back to that version of yourself, what would you say? Any sort of advice or anything like that? Let's say there's a young creative that stumbles upon this podcast and they're experiencing some of that in their life. What would you tell them?
What the like?
Just sort of feeling a little bit like self-conscious about putting themselves out there.
I'd say just like, yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Posting as much as you can if that's what you want to do. Literally do whatever you want, because there will come a time where 10 years after you've left school, people will come up to you and say, I wish I'd have done guitar when I was in school like you.
Yeah.
Because now it
I
is
wish I'd
like,
have stuck at it.
Yeah. Now it is like a thing where it's like, occasionally you'll get someone come up to you and be like, yeah, I always like really wanted to play guitar at school. Like,
I wonder if it's changed.
People are like that creative outlet now.
Yeah, I wonder if it has changed, because obviously we're speaking from our experience, which is literally like nearly 20 years ago. Well, high school's like, 15 years ago? Something like that. 10,
11.
Yeah. Starting, ending.
From starting, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if it is different now, whether it's more encouraged or not.
I've actually had this conversation a few times with adults that have kids that went to my school, and they're like, they play guitar. How can you get them to keep sticking at it? I think that's the main problem parents have with their kids. And I think, like, I'm so glad my mum and dad didn't let me quit, because I could have easily quit.
So you think it was down to them a little bit more? So, like them.
But I suppose there's only, if your kid don't want to do it, they don't want to. I think I had that little bit of fear from my parents, that like, just enough fear. Like, that I respected them enough. I never wanted to let them down.
Yeah.
And even now, like, I have such respect for my mum and dad. Like, obviously we've got to live our lives, but I think I've always had that respect. So like, when they give me that talking to about not quitting, like, that's why I don't. I think, and I actually tried as well.
Sort of doing it for them.
Yeah, but a lot of kids now will, if they don't want to do it, they won't do it.
When did the Hyde come about?
2016.
So had you left school or?
Left school, and it was my first year of college. Yeah. And
for people who don't know, they won't know what the Hyde is. Some people might. They might. What is the Hyde?
The Hyde is a band that I was in. A pop band I was in with Sluggy Beats. Yeah. And we were in that for about 5 years. Yeah. And
how did it come about? Like, what was the?
So it originally came about because we all went to college together, and the original guitarist, he had a wedding, and it were a family wedding. It might have been his sister's or something, and she wanted a band, but she wanted him to be in the band. So it was like, can we create a band for my sister's wedding? Yeah. So we made this band, but then upon that time, there were some lads in the year above us at college, and they had to put on their own gig for like a module for their project. And they were like, we need a band. We've heard you guys practicing. Can you create a name now, like within the next day, and do something? And come and play this gig. So we created the name after a lot of back and forth and a lot of fucking shocking names as well. And then we played the gig, and then we were like, shall we just try fucking writing our own tunes and stuff? And I did that.
And you were the front man.
I was the front man.
Yeah.
So we were playing like covers 1975, and I think we did like some Rolling Stones and stuff like that. We were all over the shop at first. Yeah, and then played that gig, and we loved it, and we got on really well as mates as well.
That's important.
Yeah.
What was can you remember the first like song that you wrote, or the first moment you kind of not necessarily for the Hyde, I mean, like,
the first song was probably when I was about 10. It was called Different Colours.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was just a song about colours. I can't remember really what it was. The chorus were like, whether you're blue or happy as you'll know. The world is all about colours. It was like the world about
Alright,
revolving around colours, yeah.
Like a...
That's like the first song. And
what else would a 10-year-old write about?
Exactly. I wrote one that started off with One Stormy Night.
Right.
And I can't remember what happened after that, yeah.
And were you writing the songs in the Hyde as a group then?
Yeah, I did write quite a few on my own at home. That was like my introduction to writing, though, seriously.
Where did the inspiration for those come from?
What, the songs?
Yeah. I imagine obviously it's going to come from a multitude of different...
Yeah, well, I was 16 at this point, so I was like experiencing things for the first time. So I did write about girls or growing up. There were songs about growing up, but I think around there it is mostly like... Yeah. Because most songs are all like relationship based and stuff like that, and they were never that deep. A lot of the songs probably meant nothing either. Like, we'd sit in a room and somebody in the band used to say, like, oh, you can't be writing fag lyrics.
Like emotional lyrics.
But that was because we were all 16-year-olds writing in a room for the first time. And it's like, I've always been a little bit more, like, emotionally... not intelligent, I don't think that's the word, but, like, being a bit more sensitive. And I had written like that before, and I think it...
Open.
At first, like, 4 lads in a room. One of them had metal influences. Yeah. One had...
Big mix of...
rock and roll. Harry was, like, Blink-182, and I was fucking Justin Bieber. So it was weird at first, but then, like... when we were recording them and putting them out and they were well received, like, and we started to we didn't really know each other either. We'd known each other like 8 months at that time,
just from college.
And we didn't hang around with each other that much, so we were kind of becoming best friends at the same time,
learning about each other.
And then like I just would come to them, say, do you like this? We'd be like, yeah, sound. And then
because for people who may not know, me and Charlie recently wrote a song together called Play-Doh, which we put together in like an afternoon. Obviously, like, I think the one thing that kind of ties me and you together is that creative thing. Like I was explaining, how we met is literally through a creative pursuit.
And even what you're telling me now, like when you're relating to the things I'm saying, like, and even when we've spoken in car journeys or whatever, I realise how similar you are to me in that way.
To an extent, like the things that we've sort of gone through, which is I think how that song kind of came about a little bit. Like, you know, we understand each other. I think, don't we? And then, so anyway, I digress. I was talking about writing the song.
Go into it.
So I started writing a little bit when I was younger as well, and I've touched on, like, I always had that sort of musical side to me, whether that was, you know, the guitar playing or literally like family sing songs in the car when we'd go on holiday. Like, my dad would print out lyrics in the car and we'd all like sing and stuff. It sounds funny thinking it when you say it out loud, but so I've always had that like musical side, and meeting you and then seeing you actually doing it and the things that you'd learned through doing it over years, like that was really, like, genuinely like inspiring to me to see, like, maybe if I'd have stuck at it when I was younger, maybe I'd be at that level of ability and skill. And then we've done in the past, haven't we, like a few different covers, and like whether like even being there when you've been writing songs for other people or recording ad-libs and stuff for some of your work that you've got on Fiverr. And I'd always wanted to sit down and actually
see how it works,
like and do something together as well. We'd been talking about doing it for a little while, and you went through a period a few years back where you were releasing a fair bit of your own stuff, and I was away at that time, and I'd always wanted to say, like, Chaz, let's do a writing session, or, you know, let's make something together. And we just did it, and that process of putting that song together, like, I genuinely, I loved every second of it. Do you know what I mean? it's not for everybody,
No.
but like that kind of the process of talking about the, you know, what it should be about and the kind of feelings attached to it, and how do you make it relatable, and how do you word it so that it is coherent and actually makes sense, so you're telling the story, but then at the same time you need it to sound right and creating a melody and then the instrumental, and there's so much that goes into it, and it just gave me this real appreciation for, even more so for just music in general, which I think that's the biggest thing that I got out of it, really, is that appreciation and also just being proud that like we actually like so we need to do it again sometime. So
we do because it did something for me as well, like having some, see, I've always made, since the band, I then just made music on my own, and there were a lot of things like, because
why did the band like come?
Well, we got COVID. We got COVID. No, COVID came, and then Harry started his sluggy beats, and then Danny was doing some stuff on his own. I started doing stuff on my own.
Everyone just sort of went the separate ways.
Yeah, and I think we just kind of like, once we came back together after COVID, we worked well together, but then it was just like we'd grown within like only like 7-8 months.
Things were different,
and we'd kind of like,
'cause you did some pretty cool stuff though, like before that, did you not?
I mean, I sometimes like, I think me and Harry have a bit of a joke where it's like, do you think the band was bigger than it actually was? And no, I don't think it was, but like I will always You've
still got people who were listening to you back then, who listen to your stuff now.
We weren't a big band by any means, but we were like, we'd built a reputation for ourselves within like Leeds, Wakefield, like Leeds, Wakefield, and then we'd obviously got
people who were in touch with music, who were new
with the scene, and then with the YouTube content and Twitter, we managed to access people from around the world, and I will always say that they was like some of the best years ever, because it was like, you think you're going to be doing it forever. Like, this is it, like we've got the name, we've got the sound, we've got this, and we did do some cool stuff, and we worked with like insane producers and radio players. We got to play sold out gigs, and it was like all I ever wanted to do. I remember watching Harry in his first band when I first started to get to know him, and I was like, and he played like this venue in Wakefield, and he gave me a ticket to watch him, and we were like just getting to know him, and I'm like, fuck, I want to do that so bad, like I want people to come and watch me do this, and then like them years later, with like the years where that were happening, and it was like everything I ever wanted to do.
Do you feel like you pushed to keep it going?
No, I actually ended it. Well, no, I didn't end it. That's a bit, it makes me sound fucking ballsy, doesn't it? But I think we'd all wanted to
detached a little bit.
But I think I was the one to be like,
it's not worth.
Yeah.
I was sort of leading up to you taking the leap, so we've gone a roundabout way of getting to this point. Obviously kind of discussed how you got to that point, being in the band, being in the Hyde, having, you know, a bit of success there, feeling like it was probably going to go somewhere, and then circumstances out of your control led to that coming to an end. When that came to an end, do you feel like you lost passion for music?
Definitely, 100%. And I sit and I do these podcasts for people, and I hear, it's completely different, but I hear these Premier League footballers that are on these podcasts, and they're like, when I finished my football career, I fell into this depression, started drinking, all this, that. And obviously that was nowhere, like tiny compared to it. But I did get that, like, I'd been doing that, it was like my life for 5 years, 4 years, whatever. like every weekend playing gigs. It were like a business, really.
Yeah.
Like
all your energy was going into that one thing.
It was. Yeah, like I only worked the golf club so I could fund like doing the band that we thought was gonna do something, and then like now I have to do it. If I want to do music, I have to do it on my own. It just wasn't the same.
No.
And then I stopped doing it really, because it was, I did produce on my own for a little bit throughout COVID, and that's how I got better at producing and writing. But I stopped really enjoying it after that, because it was like, well, if I haven't got my mates with me doing it, what's the point?
Yeah.
Like, and it was starting again really, because like by that point COVID had been, and like anybody that did follow us had kind of like they've grown up sort of thing. They've got their own, like they've got their own lives, like, and it was like, I'm gonna have to start again. Like we'd grown whatever that was to
what it got to.
Well, to be able to, but then it's like now I've got to just do it all again.
Yeah, starting from scratch.
Yeah, and it was like
under a different.
Yeah, and obviously Harry was a lot stronger than me, because he like did it, and he persevered, and he tried lots of different things, just kept it up, and it's like he's cracked it now. And I think
Did you fully stop then? Like you were?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I did like I tried releasing a few songs here and there, like in my free time.
And you were you doing the stuff on did the stuff on Fiverr start around that time?
No, I probably went. So it's probably.
What made you pick that back up then? Like. Just music in general.
Literally, when Harry said, "Do you want to start a studio with me?"
Really?
Yeah.
So you were super fresh then, like.
I had the whole TikTok thing, didn't I? Where, those years that I weren't doing music, I was fucking running around on TikTok with a towel on my head, pretending to doing them skits.
That hadn't even crossed my mind.
It didn't even cross mine, but I was thinking, surely I wasn't at the golf club for them 2 years.
Yeah.
But no, I then ended up doing TikTok, didn't I? Because TikTok had literally just come out.
This was like, what, 2020?
2020. Yeah, 2021.
Yeah, 2020 was when it came on the scene pretty much, because that's when like me and Ryan had started doing TikToks on Mindset Meta actually around that time. Yeah. So what was that?
That started
because I swear you've never shown me any of these.
That started because I started doing music on it. I started doing some covers on it, and I thought, right, it's a new app. People are just getting to know it. Hopefully, if there's one way I'm going to do something, it's through this. So we're doing covers, and then I had this skit idea one day. I can't remember. I think it was like, I said to somebody, do you remember when you were year 7 and you used to have to go to a year 11's classroom and how daunting it was?
Yeah.
And then I just fucking did it as a video, and I put my old uniform on, opened my bedroom door, and was like, pretended to be a year 7 in a year 11's classroom.
Yeah.
And I put that on, and it just got like 1 million views. Just straight away, just got like 1 million views, hundreds of thousands of likes.
Followers coming in, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I was like, right, now I need to do it again and again and again.
Yeah.
And I had got like 100,000 followers in a year, and then I was getting millions of views on these videos and hundreds of thousands of likes. And then 2022 was the point where, so I was just doing these skits, relatable skits, for about a year and a half, 2 years. And then something clicked in 2022. I was like, I just felt that growth where I was like, I don't want to do that. I'm chasing these like numbers and views.
Yeah. And
that's not me.
Because there'll be people listening to this thinking, why the hell did you stop?
Yeah, people say it now. People say
I'm thinking it as you're saying it. Even now, like, so why?
Yeah.
Why did you stop? The growth, like, you just felt like it was not you anymore.
Well, yeah, I just felt like I was, what were I then? I was being like 22 then.
Yeah.
And I felt like I'm 20, like, obviously you've got the guys that do it now and there, and they're fucking smashing it.
Of course, man.
I think there were an element, we'd come out of COVID properly then by 2022. Life had started getting back to normal, and I think I'd been inside, like everybody.
I lost my head in COVID.
Yeah, everyone, and we all started trying these
Anyone
new
who knows
things,
me will
didn't
know
we?
that I was doing something.
And that might have been my version
stuff.
of losing my head, or maybe it was just like my creativity that came out, and
yeah.
I really looked forward to sitting there and filming a video every day, putting it out and seeing the engagement and interaction. And then I came out and I was like, got my hair cut, felt like a bit of a new person.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I've just gradually stopped doing it. But then, yeah.
Do you think it maybe stems from potentially doing it for the wrong reasons?
I think it was, yeah.
Like
I think it was
you were
like
doing it for the clout, let's say, for the views and the numbers and the likes.
Yeah.
And it felt a little bit soulless.
Yeah, it felt like I was just forcing it in the end.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really want to actually just be doing music.
There's a strong message there, I feel like, to people.
And you hear it all the time, don't you? Like, people are like, no matter how many views I get, I'm still not happy.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah.
I still got that dopamine hit of all these views. And
of course, yeah.
And I think as well, like, there were a few occasions where people out in public would like come up to me. They'd be like that from a distance in like Nando's, like taking pictures and
like that's that guy from TikTok.
Yeah, and like somebody were like, I had a character, I had a character called Stacey, and I used to like she was like this was like the one video that banged, and it was like a chav girl called Stacey. So I feel a bit like it's a bit.
Did it make you feel uncomfortable?
A bit embarrassed because it's like. I would putting on this
to be a bird.
Yeah, but it was like doing well, and then somebody would be like Stacey in the streets, and you'll be like, right, fucking hell, I need to fucking do something else now, because it's like I don't want to be, and you know what? A big thing is, I felt like a lot of my life, I'd always been known as a bit of a clown, like a bit of like. Acting about at school a little bit, but I felt like people always like didn't take me very seriously in school growing up. I was always like, I
suppose if you'd embodied that performer, let's say, like you were talking about earlier, from a young age, and
academically I were a bit thick, and I think people just thought like, I don't think maybe they didn't, but I think just people didn't really take me very seriously.
You thought that people didn't take you,
and I felt like people thought I was a bit of a clown.
Yeah.
And I felt like this era was just emphasising the fact that
you'd become what people thought you were going to become.
Hit the nail on the head. Yeah, I think that's what it is, you know. And you've just kind of made me realise that. I think that's what it is. Yeah, I think I was bothered that I was becoming what everybody thought I was going to be. When in reality, probably no one gave a shit. But like, I'd always, even now, like, even now, like, I'll see somebody that I went to school with, and I'll come away from a conversation, and I almost feel like they might be surprised how I am now. And I'll be like, I might say to my mum, I saw so and so at the shop, and he was a bit like taken back by what I'm doing now. And my mum will be a bit like, well, why do you think that is? And I was like, I think it's because they thought I were a bit of a fucking idiot at school. And like now I'm like,
you don't think you're an idiot
and now
anymore.
I'm more put together. Like I can talk to you and I can say, yeah, I'm doing this, and I'm not the same person that I was back then. But yeah, that's why that stopped, and then here we are.
Yeah.
The opportunity came straight after to start a studio.
And this is what interests me, is like, you had all that going, you'd taken a step away from the music. Harry comes to you and he says, how do you feel about doing this? And you took the leap.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you were, like you say, you were starting from scratch, like taking that leap. And that's, you know, particularly as far as a financial commitment goes to renting the studio, albeit going in with other people, like, that's a big risk.
It was, yeah.
What pushed you to taking the risk, do you think?
Because I just thought, if I don't do something now, when am I gonna do it? Like, I want to do that time away from it made me realise I want to do music. I want to be creative. I don't want to be at this golf club forever.
Yeah.
I was just like, if I don't do it now, if I don't do it now, I'm not gonna ever do it. And then I didn't leave the golf club till the following March.
Yeah, I remember.
And
you
after
were still
that,
working.
that was hard.
Yeah,
that was very hard.
You still had your day job
Yeah.
there propping you up whilst you were building the music stuff on the side.
Yeah.
And there's like a bit of a general rule of thumb that these business influencers, let's say, talk about when it comes to starting a side hustle / growing a side hustle, wanting to do something for yourself. And the smart way to do it, people tend to say, is to have another job, do your thing on the side, wait until the thing on the side is making at least as much money as the thing that you're already doing, because if you can do both already, you might as well. But when that thing reaches that point, or at least close to that point, then you should probably take the full leap into going full time and doing your own thing. Did you get to that point, or was it like...
No, not even.
No.
I think I just got to the point where I was... And I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But I think I'd just gotten to the point where I was making okay money on my own.
And this is doing the Fiverr stuff?
The Fiverr.
Pretty much predominantly Fiverr.
Podcast studio. Yeah, I was doing okay, but it didn't like... It wasn't. It probably wasn't even a minimum wage at the time.
Yeah.
But I'd saved a lot of money over the years. I had shares in Tesla that I sold.
All right. Yeah.
And then I was like, well, I think I'd grown.
You'd bought yourself a bit of time to take the risk.
And there's that, yeah. And I was putting so much into the studio that I felt like my boss at work, she's lovely. Like she's done the most for me over the time I was there and over the years, and we still talk now. But I felt like they were a little bit like I was letting her down a little bit because I was showing up to work late. I was kind of eager to leave work early because I wanted to get back to the studio, and I felt like it was just that the job was that headache that I felt I need. If I
needed to free yourself of the mental.
Yeah. And she'd be like, "Do you want to? Can you work Saturday?" And I was thinking, Saturday, I want to be in the studio, like, but I couldn't turn it down.
Yeah.
So then I was just like, I think it's probably best I'd just leave that. And I thought, all these extra hours I will have, surely I'll be able to make it up.
Put more into doing what you're doing.
So I just handed in my notice. It was sad because it was like 6 years I'd been there.
It's a long time.
And these people have like seen me grow up there as well and
looked after you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And you never looked back?
No, I did actually.
Did you?
I went back to that job.
You went back?
I did go back to that job in the December of that year.
So that was March you left, did you say?
March I left.
Or was it March you got the studio? Or was it? No, you said
September
March
I got the studio and March I left. The first thing I did when I left, I went to Rome. I went to Rome for 4 days, which probably wasn't a great thing to do.
Financially, yeah.
Yeah, and then I went to Magaluf that summer.
Yeah.
Which again, when you're self-employed, and I just didn't have that perception of like, I'd got all this money saved and I was like, I'll be fine. Like, and I kind of spent it quite irresponsibly, I think, that year. And then by... No,
that's not two holidays ain't too bad, but...
no, and then I did, what else did I do?
You go to Spain as well or something like that?
I went to Madrid as well that year.
Yeah.
I went on a few weekends away as well. I was eating out a lot. I couldn't afford to do it. I just...
Living almost like... You were living above your means.
Yeah, definitely.
Very much, yeah.
And the people around me were like Harry, he'd gotten to the point where he could live like that.
Yeah.
And when you're self-employed and you're just starting in your first year, you need to be saving every penny.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it like that because everyone around me was like being able to go out for dinners, going on holidays, and I didn't want to miss out.
Yeah.
But now I realise that sacrifice is so important. So we got to like the November of that year, and my mum don't really like it when I tell people this, but I think it's important that you do tell people, let people know.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy. And then we got to the November and I'd fucking gone through all my savings and I was doing okay, but I still didn't realise how long it took to build a business to a point where I was making decent money.
Yeah.
So like the November I had to message my boss and be like,
got any shifts going?
Yeah. And I felt so embarrassed.
Did you feel like you were taking a step back? Yeah.
Yeah, because I felt like I was starting again. Because
Mm.
the work was still there, but like the money were coming in and it were going straight back out on rent or like on things that I needed to pay for. And I was like, I was like, luckily I was at home and I have a good like relationship with my parents and stuff. But yeah, I went back for a few shifts that December.
I can see, like, I can relate to some extent from my own experience, like that feeling of not wanting to even edge backwards to the thing that you thought you left behind. Like when I went traveling, when I went out, I kind of thought, I went out there with the idea of, I'm gonna go out there, I'm not gonna spend a shitload of money, I'm gonna work and maybe build something when I'm out there, keep building the podcast studio, potentially even come back financially better off than when I went out.
It's easy to think, isn't it?
I wanted to come home and be straight out and move straight out. But that just it wasn't feasible, because I'd sort of done similar to you in like living above my means, and even just the act of having that conversation with my parents to be like, are you all right with me just staying here for a bit longer, because I need to get back on my own 2 feet, so to speak. Like it's a difficult. It almost feels like like a pride hit, like a hit to your pride, because you're like, you're going against the thing that you thought you were. You thought you were going to do.
Especially when you see the people around you as well,
exactly,
moving
man.
house, out, getting married,
and not to mention like the other people that you see that you don't even know who are doing like crazy things, you know, on the internet and stuff, and having all that pushed in your face. It's like, oh shit, what am I doing? Like I'm just a loser. You know what I mean? Like,
I always
in reality it's all relative and everyone's on a different.
We are, once you get past your 20s, you are virtually, aren't you? And like but at the time, like what you were just saying, you probably felt like you were starting again.
I did,
and I did as well.
Even though you'd got that experience behind you to fuel you for the next bit. It's I suppose that's how I look at like that period of my life. Like I look at the money and the things that I did, you know, what I spent it on. I was paying for the experience. I literally put like that is exactly what you are doing.
But you've had like a once in a, you might do it again, but like living in Australia with your mates and going like you've done what a lot of people when they get to their 60s will turn around and say, I wish I'd have done that when I was in my early 20s. And you've done it. Like
likewise with you taking that leap and going for the self-employed thing. Like a lot of people will live in regret, thinking, I wish I'd have taken that leap, and they actually didn't.
And that thing in December taught me like, shit, right, if I have to go again, I'll go in again. Luckily I only needed the few December shifts and I just went all in 24, watched my spending, everything else, and then
you were just tight
just taught me a big lesson.
And now, so we're a year on from that, how was last year for you?
Great.
2024, very much a building year. Like you say, building on.
And by exactly a year after the little setback, I was like, I was in a completely different position that I never thought I would have been in the year before.
I remember you saying like around that time you were like, I'm just crazy busy. You had stuff coming in all the time. I was
probably like too busy to the point where like I was like stressed all the time. Like really stressed. I just had so much, because I was just at that point I was just like saying yes to everything. All the vocal stuff. Even some of the vocal stuff that maybe wouldn't have been worth me doing. All the video stuff, podcast stuff, doing gigs as well. Like I was just like all the time. But I loved being busy. I always loved being busy. And then 25 was kind of the year where I thought I need to find a balance now where I can enjoy time with like people that deserve, like I want to spend time with, and be able to chill, and then have the work. It's the work-life balance, isn't it?
Of course, yeah.
And I think then
you've got to go through that to figure it out, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't just come.
And I had the stressful times in 25 where I'm mad busy. Like, there were a holiday I went on, and I worked right up till the morning of, like 3 hours before my flight.
I feel like I remember.
Yeah, and like obviously that's a huge stress, and I was even working a little bit while I were over there.
Yeah.
But that's obviously what comes with your own business, and like doing
it's
what you do.
That's
the sacrifice. Yeah.
What how do you feel like when things get a little bit quiet for you? Do you stress?
I've stopped stressing now. I used to do. I used to do a lot, like especially in 2024 when I'd seen what it's like.
Yeah.
To kind of hit that.
Yeah.
But then I think Harry said it quite well, that he's got a stash where he's like, he knows if anything bad happens,
emergency fund.
Yeah. And like I've managed to like do that now, where I'm like, I'll be okay if it goes quiet, but it always picks back up.
In the past few months, I don't know when you started doing this, but you have been probably the most consistent person that I know, and that's saying
apart
something.
From Wolfie.
Apart from maybe Wolfie.
Yeah.
In terms of your output.
Yeah.
And that is, you're posting on TikTok covers pretty much every day. Well, it's every day, innit? How many times a day?
Minimum 3 times, really.
3 times a day doing covers and getting stuff out there. What kickstarted that for you?
Well, I think 2024, 25 have been good, like the samey.
Yeah.
And then I think there was just a pivoting point towards the end of 25 where I was like, I've been making all this music for everybody else and working on everybody else's projects. That I started dwelling on my age a lot when I turned 26, and I know 26 is very young still.
I feel that.
And I had a lot, but it brought a lot of points of reflection as well. Like I started to reflect on the band and
what had
music
pushed
I'd
you into
released
doing
on
that.
my own.
Getting in touch with you.
Yeah, and I thought,
sort of driving force.
Yeah, like the dream originally was like, if I could make music full time, for myself.
Yeah.
And I'd spent these years doing it for other people, and then stuff which I love. Like that's like we've said at the beginning, like to do it every day is like a dream. But then I thought, like there'd been a few year period where I'd actually not done anything for myself, and I think it had been the business side of it all which I'd been wrapped up in. But then I think like outside of that, I didn't really have any free time because I wanted to see friends. I was obviously in a relationship at the time, so I wanted to put the time into that because if I didn't, I'd just be absent all the time.
Yeah.
So I think that naturally is where that side of it all just kind of sloped off. And then I was just like, thinking back, and I was like, well, I've got my own studio. I can make my own music. I've been writing a lot for other people.
You've been honing your craft as well.
Meeting a lot of great people.
Yeah.
That are already doing it.
Living and breathing it.
Yeah.
Because you're here.
Exactly. And I just thought, like, why am I not utilising it to do what I originally wanted to do?
Yeah, man.
So, and then I was looking through my laptop, found an old song that I'd written a few years ago. I was like, well, I'll just put that out, kickstart it, get the ball rolling. I wasn't the biggest fan of the song, but it had been sat there a few. You
just had to get it out there.
And I think you said it a few weeks ago, like you let the ball roll with that one. Yeah. And then
you did.
And then you messaged me around that time and like, let's write a song, and then did Play-Doh. But then I thought, sorry, just to rewind a tiny bit, I also thought, well, you've got the experience as well to build a TikTok page, because you know what the ingredients are. It's consistency, being likable, and like changing with the the times and like just being in
tune, in touch with the trends.
And at first it were a chore, but now we're like seeing the small but strong following forming, and
that is one thing I feel like you definitely have got. Like, you know, I suppose you could kind of apply like the 80-20 rule to some extent. You know, like 80% of your business comes from 20% of your customers. I don't like, obviously that's just kind of a blanket statement, innit? It doesn't apply to everything, but like your core base that you've built, you know, like you've been doing these TikTok lives. Obviously I was in your TikTok live last night. I feel like I was joining your lives consistently for a fair while when you started doing it. And like we were talking about before we started recording, I'd join and there'd be maybe like 8 people, and it's like, that's pretty good. Like 8 people sitting and watching. I mean, me and Wolfie used to do the TikTok lives on Wolf's Ups, and if we had like 8 to 10 people, that's pretty good going. And when I first started joining, you'd had that many people, and it might fluctuate to like 20 plus, this, that, whatever. And you're there just doing covers and talking to the camera and engaging with people. And I took a bit of I don't know, no particular reason, I just wasn't going on TikTok so much. And then last night I joined live.
It's hard to keep up to as a viewer. Like,
it is, man. Especially when you're going live every night, like you say.
Well,
it's consistency. And then I joined last night, and I join in, and there's like 80 people in the live. I'm like, what is going on here? And I suppose that just proves, like you've been saying, the consistency is absolutely key. How do you feel when you I was thinking this last night. I think when I was in, it peaked on my screen. It peaked like 145 viewers. I'm thinking to myself, like, when we used to do it, if we had like 20 people, man, I'd feel just like a bit frozen and a bit like, oh my god, like 20 people.
The first time it got to that, I started to shake a little bit. I was like, fuck.
Were you a bit nervous? Even though you've had all these things that you've had eyes, you've had eyes on you your whole life, and like with everything you've done from a young age to the band to the TikTok stuff before.
I think it was just that, like, it's a new thing. Even for me, like the TikTok live was new, and you don't know, with that amount of people in, you don't know what you're gonna be met with. Like you could have 50 of them saying, "Get the fuck off your shit." Like, and I like to think I've got thick skin when it comes to like the negative comments, but like I don't know how I'd deal with it in a live setting where 40 people are saying, "Get off the live." Like,
but you don't have that. You've got a nice group of people who are like very encouraging and positive and just like bigging you up when you're doing stuff, and like it's so good to see. And like honestly, like joining your live last night is what kind of sparked me asking you to come in today. Because a big thing for me this year, like I think I wasted a lot of time last year. A lot of energy went into things that it shouldn't have gone to. Even though I started this last year, and this is probably the best thing to come out of last year for me, I want to build on that this year. And the only way to do that is to start as you mean to go on, innit? Consistency. And that is, mate, like, but I owe it to you to some extent, like, as well as other people, and to myself, just like, you can't just expect something to happen. You've got to put the work in, and like the work that you put in every day to make those 3 videos, like it adds up, man.
Like, but don't get me wrong, it was, like I've said to you, it was hard at first. Like 3 videos a day, and then it just becomes habit. But like we were saying before, you've built your threshold up now because you increase your workload and you stuck at it. At first, that's a change, and that's naturally going to be different to acclimatise to. But then when it becomes normality, your threshold is just so much bigger, and it's habit, like you say. You don't have to put as much energy in because it is just the energy that you use is where it goes. 100%.
And
I think Paul said this, something like this. But like every time I think I can't be arsed doing a live tonight, or I'm not going to post today, I just think in my head, like, you don't want it bad enough then. Like, whilst you're not doing a live tonight, there's a kid your age, not a kid, but like there's someone your age doing it, and he's he's getting further than you. And I've seen a lot of examples of people with consistency, like Harry, again, big example. And another person we met at the podcast show, like I've mentioned it to you before, but
Corey.
like, yeah, like that.
Yeah.
I remember we followed her because we met her there, and she was small, wasn't she?
She had 5k on TikTok.
Now she's got like 200k.
Yeah, and her videos absolutely pop every time.
Yeah, she'd come up a few times, but then there was a period, and then she started. I kind of, you have a little browse and stuff, and I was like, wow, consistency, that's the theme.
Hell yeah.
Harry, consistency. There's been podcast people that we've had in that have popped all of a sudden overnight, and they're doing bits. Like, I can think of loads of examples right now. I'm on the spot, and I'm not bullshitting, but I can genuinely think of a lot of people that I know or have met that have just like done it because of the consistency.
Yeah, like bring. Overnight success doesn't happen overnight.
No, absolutely not. I was going to add something else onto the back of that. But yeah, I just think you don't want it bad enough.
We were talking about how you feel when you're doing the lives and that many people watching you.
Yeah, like I said to you, it's quite mentally... I don't really feel like I have time to think. No. Because I'm always reading the comments, so I'm always like learning the song live on stream.
Yeah. I think it showcases your talent so well. Like... Yeah, genuinely so well, because like I said to you last night in the live, do Man I Need by Olivia Dean, and even though you've listened to it a couple of times, like you say, you didn't really know it exactly, and you've probably never played. Well, you've never played the song before.
Played it ever.
No, you never played it ever, and you're just there like, just whacked it out, and I'm like, mate, it's so impressive. Like,
thanks,
it's sick, mate. It's sick, and I think I feel that way because, having been someone who's like dabbled a little bit in music myself, like, I wish I could do that, but I didn't want it bad enough, and I still don't, like, which is why I haven't done it. But I'd like to get a guitar again this year.
You sold it, didn't you, when you got back?
Yeah, I was skint.
Yeah,
but I was skint when I came back.
We've all been there. We have all been there, definitely. Yeah. But yeah, I appreciate that you've asked me in today as well, and I appreciated you texting me after the live as well.
Yeah.
And I think it is important, and I always say it. That you are your circle, and I feel like I'm so like, if someone were to say what quote is your favourite quote or whatever, I don't know if that's the quote. Some of it's like, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. And I think every guest that I've edited this podcast have all said the same thing. You are your circle. And you watching that live have obviously inspired you to come in today. Your consistency will keep up. I've been inspired to do this, to do what I'm doing, or even to be in business, because I've had Wolfie, I've had you, I've had Harry, I've had Paul Donnelly, in my, like, that I work with. I've had the guys that I share the bottom floor with. They're the most obvious ones to me. James next door, who you met this afternoon, like, we're all like doing it, and that's my circle, how big or how small.
It changes your perspective completely. You start to put things into perspective when you see what people are doing for themselves, and it's inspiring. Like, it shouldn't be, some people can get jealous over things like that, and I'm not here to say, like, by no means that anybody is jealous of me or you or what we do, because that's not what I'm getting at.
Bold
but, like,
state,
it's it's so important to actually find that thing, and you obviously found it from a young age, and you've battled like through it here and there with your setbacks, and like coming back to your kind of true calling. And it ain't easy, like, it's not easy, but you've just got to keep sticking at it. And like, one thing that I'm taking from this podcast and like with me into the rest of the year is, like you've just been banging on about, like, consistency. And that's one thing that the podcast hasn't been for me. Like, if I look through my monthly views and stuff on YouTube for last year, there's months where it's like sky high, and literally the next month is like that, because I haven't been consistent with guests, I haven't been consistent with posting reels and content, and I've looked at my own life and my own sort of tendencies, and I do teeter. I kind of bounce around things sometimes, and I've always said that, well, not always said, but for the last kind of 5 years of my life, I've said that this is what I want to do, but I haven't been doing the thing.
Yeah.
I started doing the thing last year, but this year is where I'm going to sort of commit myself fully to doing the thing, because otherwise, like, what is the point, like, in doing something half-assed? There's literally no point in doing it. And you've got to, it's easy to give that advice, but taking it is, and following your own advice is a totally different thing. And I think you've really, like I say, I feel like I've noticed a change in you since you've like fully started doing that. You know what I mean? And I hope that brings more of your original music as well, and hopefully I can be involved a little bit here and there.
Definitely. Like I said, that song Play-Doh would not exist if you were in the room that day, and it's been like the best performing song, and it's my favourite song that I've ever done.
You reckon?
Yeah, and I think you brought a lot, and I
appreciate that.
We need to do it. Yeah, definitely.
We should. Man.
Yeah, but everything that you've just said fully stands, and I think the only way you're going to see growth in anything you do is the consistency.
Absolutely.
And I've definitely been guilty of not being consistent. I started the vlogs. I started the music. There's loads of things, but like, you said
that is all part of figuring it out, though, as well. That is all part of figuring it out, and like, I think that's the importance of that statement, like, do the thing. And I got it from Chris Williamson, and it's like, it does sound so cliche, but it is like, I feel like I might cringe when I watch this back or listen to it back, because I do feel like I've said it before, but like, you can feel like you're doing work and feel like you're going forwards, but in reality you're not necessarily procrastinating, but like, you're doing other things related to the thing, but you're not actually doing the thing. Like, for me, doing the thing is getting in here and talking and doing a podcast. And there was even a moment this morning where I thought, like, oh, is this the day? Like, do I feel like I actually want to do this today? But
I felt a bit like that, though.
And then you sort of have to squash you have to squash that and make the moment of inertia lower by doing it, like you've been doing with the TikTok thing, like I was saying about raising your threshold, getting comfortable and keeping in touch with it. Like, for you, doing the thing is making your own music, and you've spent so much time making music for other people. Like you said, you'd sort of forgotten a little bit about why you'd started doing that in the first place, and then now you've come to a point where you're like, oh, this is why I was doing it, because I'm doing it for my own pursuit, because of all the reasons that you laid out at the start, like what kind of got you into it in the first place. So on that note, the moment, I ask you, what has been your biggest learning curve? Is that for the
edit? My learning curve is understanding the importance of people around you and the impact that they all individually have on you. If you have not got a good circle of good people with good morals and good values and a good work ethic and a good drive, I could go on forever with them. I think it's incredibly hard to take it upon your own initiative to break that mold and to be different. So I guess my learning curve is understanding the importance of people,
who to surround yourself with.
The importance of who you surround yourself with. Like
you were saying, the show me your friends, show me show me your friends, I'll show you your
exactly,
future.
and that is the biggest thing I have learned in the past 2 years. 100%.
I can definitely vouch for that, man.
Yeah.
Play-Doh.
Thank you, bro.
Available to stream.
Play-Doh out now.
Out now. Charley Beck.
Yeah.
Music on Instagram.
Charley Beck Music on Instagram.
Charley Beck.
Music by Charley on TikTok.
Music by Charley on TikTok.
Charley Beck on all major streaming services.
TikTok Live's coming to you.
My G.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, bro.
I might have sweaty hands because I'm not feeling too good.